finished my training session and now I am off to see my chiro. He's more like a osteo and a chiro. He does a lot of ART on me and also adjust my back and my hips, my ankles, because with all the training right now my body's getting pretty beaten up, as well as the posing on top of the training. My body needs to really focus on getting the right balance of both training, posing, nutrition and recovery.
We've got the 8th of the 8th, competition's 26th of the 8th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Righto. Okay, so just go into this position here. Okay, we'll just check what this symmetry's like. Okay, reach all the way up there. And back and down. And up again. And down. I'm just comparing sides there, because big thing at this stage, 2 and a bit weeks out, is you want symmetry of movement. You want symmetry of muscle, you want symmetry of movement, plus bony structure. And reach and just turn it this time, that's it. Elbows at the front and breathe out.
Oh.
Easy. That's good. Okay, have a seat just on here. Breathe in and out. Yeah.
Oh.
Great.
Oof. It's one tender rump right there. I go to bed now. Damn it. So I try and get my hips tend to twist slightly, so my left hip will sit in front of my right hip, and it really, I guess, impacts my lower back, and I'll be able to feel it when I'm doing, even just standing on the spot, I can feel a slight twist. Because of all the training I'm doing at the moment, I've been seeing a chiro once every 2 weeks, because all the training just keeps pulling my body back into position. But in an off season, I might come in once every 5 months. It's just right now I really want to make sure I'm in a symmetrical position for when I'm training, and also all the posing just throws my back out, so I've actually had to back off some of my posing work so that it doesn't interrupt my training. And then also recovery is so important. So tomorrow I'm getting a massage. I've been getting a massage once a week, and trying to get into having magnesium baths and really looking after my recovery, not just my training, because without the recovery, the training is almost it's, I call it pissing in the wind. Like you need a balance of both. So I feel like I go to sleep after that one though. Surprise! So at the moment, my mind swings between being like, you've only got 3 weeks left, you can do it, and the other one's like, you've only got 3 weeks left, better make every day count. And it's like, when I'm really tired, I'm like, oh my God, thank God there's only 3 weeks of this to go. And then when I'm not tired and I'm motivated, I'm like, oh my God, gotta make every single day count, blah blah blah. And this is so funny how I swing between two emotional states so frequently in the day. So I don't know where I am at anymore. That's love in a cup right there. What's happening, everyone? Hattie Boydell, WFF World Champion here, and I'm going to take you through some of my favorite abdominal exercises. I'd be the first to admit, if there's any body part that I actually don't enjoy training, it's my abs. And I think the most common question that gets asked on our on the Muscle Nation Facebook Lives is, how do I get rid of belly fat? How do I get my abs out? And unfortunately, or fortunately, it is 80% as a minimum diet. But as you start to get leaner, with consistency and good nutrition and training, your abs will start to, you'll start to get more visible abs. Your abs are just like any other muscle. If you want them to grow, you must train them. So hit them with volume and some frequency as well. So the exercises I'm going to start with first is actually an exercise that I learned when I did gymnastics. It's called a hollow body or a dish, and it's actually one of my favorite exercises, and it's really underrated, and it helped me to learn how to keep my waist small and tucked in and tight, and taught me how to suck in when I'm doing my posing. So what it is, it's a neutral hold, so it does help your body, train your body to be in a neutral spine, helps you engage through your abdominals, and you can do many variations. So you can start from a beginner to an intermediate and into an advanced dish hold. So I'll show you all three. Okay, so the first variation of a dish, starting on your back, and to start the movement, what you want to do is suck in and then lift here. And that's the first part of a dish hold. So you want to be able to hold this for 60 seconds as a minimum, while making sure that your back does not come off the floor and you're sucking your stomach in as hard as you can. So what you want to do is imagine that you're making your waist as small as possible. Once that's too easy, you'll take your legs off the ground, again, making sure that you do not lose that lumbar spine. You keep your lower back digging into the floor, your abdominals are still sucking in. So one of the common mistakes that I'll see when women are doing this is they dome their stomach, or their lower back comes off the ground, particularly when they start to take their legs out. They just can't hold that lower body. So what you want to do is really make sure that you've tilted your lower back and your abs and your belly are really drawing in towards the floor. And then if that's too easy, when you take your legs out, just take them out as far as you can without losing that part of your spine. So again, suck in, coming up, keeping that waist in, legs off, and you'll hold that for 60 seconds. The next variation from there is to take your arms above your head, and then the hardest is that. And there are a couple of variations for the dish hold. So I like to perform the dish sequence 3 sets, 60 seconds. If you're a beginner, start with 40 seconds, and then each week add 10 seconds on before progressing to the next dish variation. This will allow you to get stronger, learn how to be in a neutral position, and also give you variety for the next few programs of your ab work. Another one of my favorite ab exercises is the ab wheel rollout, and it's also the highest recruiter of abdominals. So it's quite an advanced movement. So if you can't do the dish, there's not really much point of you trying this one. So master the dish, master the plank before moving to a harder exercise. Otherwise, what will happen is you will start to feel a lot of pressure in your lower back, and you just won't get the desired result that you want, which is to actually focus on getting abs. What you want to do is come into almost like a harbour bridge position. So make a harbour bridge with your thoracic or your chest. Now my hips drive the wheel forward. As I come up, I stay in a bridge position. And if you watch, I actually stay in a bridge position all the way down. If you're a beginner and you're new to this exercise, just go as low as your strength allows without losing the position of your spine. A lot of the common mistakes that I will see in the gym when people are performing an ab wheel rollout is the first one is their arms come out before their body, so they're reaching forward, but they're doing this kind of movement. So if you can see, I've got a bit of an arch back here, and so they really are working more their lower back than their abs. Or they'll roll out and they'll do that. So they'll sink. Have you ever seen that happen? Oh my God. So they'll collapse to their lower back. So bad, good. So a good one looks like it's my hips drive forward. I keep a nice neutral spine. It's the same position as if I was in a plank. The bad is that. Next exercise is a reverse crunch on a decline bench. I like to break my ab exercises up with lower ab flexion and upper body flexion, as well as adding in a lot of static holds, so things like the dish or the plank, because I feel it's very important to be able to strengthen your body through not just movement but also static holds. And it's also important to understand that you need to teach your body how to hold neutral spine, because that's going to be a lot of safety for your lower back when it comes to loading your back up with weights and everything. So if you can't hold a 2-minute plank, how can you expect to be deadlifting body weight or plus some and think it's safe for your back? So one, it's good variety, which I need when I do abs, otherwise I get really bored. And two, it really does make sure that I'm strengthening my core as well as getting some nice aesthetic, I guess, abs. So, reverse crunch, lying back, again, making sure that I keep a neutral spine. So, while I'm laying flat on the bench, I want my lower back to be in the bench, okay? So again, keeping my spine in neutral, holding onto the back of the bench, legs up. And when I do a reverse crunch, I like to keep my movement quite minimal. So I really make sure that I'm engaging through my abs to bring my knees towards my chest. As I'm stretching up, I also like to make sure I'm pulling my rib cage down. So even though it's a lower ab focused exercise, I'm still using my upper ab to bring my rib cage in so that my entire abdominal plate is working. So here, and even you can do smaller variations down here. So keeping it really isolated through the lower abdominal. Again, what you want to do is really make sure you're not swinging your knees up like that, because then there's not really much point of doing it. You want to suck in, keep that spine neutral, really think about pulling your pelvis towards your rib cage. So your abs are squeezing them together and then curling under and slowly releasing your abs out. Another one of my favorite exercises is a Swiss ball crunch. Sounds so simple because it is, but this bad boy burns my abs like freaking hot coals. As simple as best. I'm just trying to contract and get muscular failure in my abdominals, and this one does it perfectly. And there's a couple of variations that you can add on to it, whether it's holding a dumbbell at your chest, having the cable machine behind you and you're crunching with the cable, so you've got resistance through weight and a cable machine, or even really simple, if you don't have any equipment and you've just got a Swiss ball, using your arms above your head as a weight. And that extra lengthening, that extra lever actually does so much for your abs. And so this is actually my favorite. So what you want to do is draw your rib cage down towards your pelvis. So you're going to increase the distance on the way down, and then you're going to suck your stomach in and then pull, and you're going to decrease the distance between your hip bone and your rib cage. Then you've got full flexion of your abdominals. So that is 4 of my favorite ab exercises to do. So make sure that when you're performing them, to perform at your level of strength, also perform at your level of training. And it's nice to be able to allow yourself progression. So when you do the dish, start with 40 seconds, and each week add on 10 more seconds before advancing to the next dish variation. Also with your Swiss ball crunch, start body weight, then take your arms above your head, then add a weight, and then maybe progress to the cable. So it's allowing you lots of different, a good couple of weeks of different variations and different exercises to add to your ab routine. So high reps, 3 to 4 sets of each of the exercises, and I hope you guys enjoy my ab workout. Finding the right balance in a comp prep can be quite difficult, and I like to think I'm pretty balanced. I know that this prep, it's probably the first prep that I haven't gone out. I normally give myself a bit of a day off, and I'll go out with friends dancing till the early hours of the morning. But I think this prep, because I've been so focused, but also the training has been fairly difficult, that I just don't have, it's just not an option for me right now. However, I still make time for friends. Before they come over, I always think, oh, I wish this wasn't happening, I'm so tired. But as soon as they walk through the door, I'm so happy that they've walked through and that I get that time with them, because it completely takes me out of over focusing on a comp prep. So it's like a breath of fresh air, and I'm always so thankful that I didn't cancel. And so at the moment, I've been trying to see friends twice a week. My friends came over on Saturday night, and honestly, when I was walking through my door and I heard people at my house, because I didn't know they were coming over, I nearly cried, because I was so tired and all I could think about was eating some food and going to bed. And it's funny because there was 2 in there, and then the next 4 come in. I think, oh my God, where are you all coming from? But I'm so grateful that they all came over, because I ended up having such a nice night. And so I think it's really important not to isolate yourself in a comp prep, which is probably the first thing that I want to do when I'm tired, is isolate myself, stare into space. And that brings me to my next point of balance with work. At this point of time, there are moments when I think, God, I wish I could just sit for the next 4 hours and stare into space and just not have to think about anything. But then I also love that I flip to the other way, because I love coaching the girls and I love sharing the journey. And then, some of the girls are also in comp prep, so we're in this together. And so I feel like my mind's just everywhere, and it just depends on how tired I am or how fresh I am in the day. So, the last week coming into the Worlds, I'll shut off work. I've got, some great, 2 great people that work for me that will help me systemize and I guess take over the Sports Little Project while I'm in that last week of coming into the show. So that will help me balance out my stress levels.
But yeah, even just the balance of even recovery, you know, going to the osteo, going to get a massage, going to get a float tank, having a sauna, meditation. Meditation is my thing. Like first thing in the morning before I turn my phone off, I meditate. Before I go to bed, I read. And so it just kind of helps me to shut off from all the thoughts, the many thoughts that are going through my mind at this point of time coming into the show. So yeah, finding balance can be tough, but I think I'm nailing it at the moment. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure if you like this episode, then give it a big thumbs up. Also, comment in the section below of what you want to see more from me in the next coming episodes. And also, make sure you jump into the Muscle Nation $100 giveaway. It's an awesome chance for you to win some sick gear. And get involved, guys. Share the love.